Good morning, people of St. Paul's. On this Sunday nearest St. Francis Day, which is tomorrow, some churches include the blessing of animals in their services. I heard that the cathedral in New York, St. John's, has an elephant that comes up for a blessing, together with other animals and pets. This kind of service is a recognition that our concern for the environment must be broad, including the needs for animals to be protected and cared for and their rights respected. In approaching stewardship, churches traditionally focus on the need to be sustainable and so focus mostly on money. I'm saying that stewardship should be seen in a broad perspective too. Let us talk about the stewardship of our lives and all that we are and all that we have. In the Gospel reading for today, Jesus calls attention to the value of us being like children, of childlike trust and faith. It is this childlike attitude that can most easily lead to giving and generosity. In our approach to what we have and our giving, we can either focus on the needs we have and on what we don't have, or we can concentrate on what we do have, the various assets. These assets we have include, among others, the money, but also our gifts and talents, as well as other things like health and well-being and our relationships. Of course, there is our faith too. In this season of stewardship, we invite people to indicate the time, money and talents we offer to God through St. Paul's. We all have something to offer. Yesterday, Reverend Sabella was leading our Mothers' Union retreat. In giving his input on prayer, he emphasized the need to be grateful. We were all challenged to list what we are grateful for, what we have as we reflect on our lives. It is a spirit of gratitude, knowing we've been blessed by God and becoming aware of the grace of God in our lives that enables us to give. In our service today, we have heard of two people who had a lot and then had virtually nothing, but still kept a spirit of gratitude. Firstly, St. Francis. When he was growing up, he was a relatively wealthy person and liked to drink and party, we gather. Later, when he heard the call of God to rebuild the church, he gave up everything. He did not need many things, but gave his all to fulfill the mission of God that he had been called to. Our Old Testament reading was from Job. At the beginning of this book, we read that he was a very wealthy farmer with thousands of livestock and a large family. We're familiar with this story, for he later loses almost everything: livestock, family, and health. But that does not cause him to turn from God. In his great suffering, he continues to trust God, saying later, "I know that my Redeemer lives." In these COVID times, with losses we have experienced, perhaps in possessions, income, in mental health, may we have the perseverance and strength to continue to cultivate a prayerful life of gratitude and trust in God. This past week, in some interactions I've had with people, I've been made aware that there are some prior steps we may need to take before we can become active stewards of our lives. Some of us may have moved away from the church or never really been connected with it. We may have done things we are ashamed of, and God feels far from us. This month of stewardship provides us with an opportunity to grow in an understanding of God's love for us and our response of commitment to God. As Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, who celebrates his 90th birthday this week, once said, "The love of God is like a heater. Its emitting of heat does not depend on us, who we are, what we are like. It warms us irrespective of our life circumstances. The mission and ministry of St. Paul's is made possible through your generosity. This month we provide an opportunity for you to recommit or to commit yourself for the first time to give regularly through the plan giving scheme or through the collection box. We also provide opportunities in which you can serve God and one another through the various ministries, guilds and groups within our parish. We all have much to offer. Amen. Following the sermon are some slides, a presentation prepared by our vaccine coordinator, Sinazo Mchiza. Thank you.